To my parents, I said,
if at age 23 or 24, and I am not inside top 200,
I would stop. I would stop. We cannot afford it, with the money what we have.
Mesmerizing tennis.
Jannik Sinner didn't just finish his 2024 tennis season on a high. He finished it with a moment he'll never forget. For the first time in a long time, Jannik had his entire family by his side. His mom Siglinda, his dad Hans-Peter, and his brother Mark. In a sport where players travel all over the world and rarely see their families, this was rare and beautiful. He looked around the court, at the faces he loved. Then he said something that touched everyone. I'm happy with the cup, but it's even more beautiful to see the family here with me and to be able to give them something back. Because the truth is, this victory wasn't just his. It belonged to his family too. Only they know the sacrifices we've made, Jannik added. Not only mom's tears, but all this, sharing these moments with the family, is the most beautiful thing of all the rest. After the final point, Jannik ran to his team, coaches Simone Vagnozzi and Darren Cahill, physio Ulysses Badio, and fitness coach Marco Panici. And then, like any proud son, he ran to his family and hugged them tightly. This was his way of saying, we did this together. Earlier that week, another historic moment happened.
And now, the first Italian to become here at ATP #1.
Officially the best male tennis player of the entire season. In front of thousands at an Alps arena, legends like Boris Becker and ATP chairman Andrea Gaudenzi handed him the award.
As I said, very special occasions, but keeping or continue to keep the people who are close to you and where you feel very comfortable with together, because these are exactly the people who are always gonna help you. So that's very nice.
I just heard that my mom was crying, which is something very cute. Only they know from my early stages when I was around 13 how much sacrifices we made as a family also. We would have never thought that we have this at home at some point. Maybe the most special trophy I have, and this is amazing because this is an achievement over 52 weeks, and so I'm very happy.
And just when you thought his story couldn't get sweeter in January 2025, Jannik Sinner won the Australian Open again.
2025, my name on it. Amazing.
Another Grand Slam, another huge moment. But when asked where he'd keep the new trophy, he didn't hesitate. I plan to keep it at my parents' house. Because no matter how many trophies Jannik wins, his heart always goes home. Jannik Sinner was just a boy from the Italian Alps. And at the center of his story are two people who shaped everything. His parents, Johan and Siglinda Sinner. Johan and Siglinda met the old-fashioned way through work. Both of them were employed at a ski lodge in Sexton, Italy, called the Tirelessly. Johan worked as a chef, cooking meals for travelers and skiers. Siglinda was a waitress, serving guests with a smile. They lived a modest life, built on hard work and simple values. And it was in this mountain setting that their second son, Jannik, was born on August 16th, 2001, in Innichen, South Tyrol. They had already welcomed their first son, Mark, 3 years earlier. Long before the tennis trophies, Jannik was known for something else.
The first sport is, of course, skiing.
Growing up in the Alps, it made sense. By the age of 8, he wasn't just good, he was runner-up in the National Giant Slalom Championships. But something shifted when Jannik turned 13.
But at the end, I don't know why I decided to play tennis, because I enjoyed it more.
He picked up a tennis racket more seriously. He wanted to try something different, something new. And instead of stopping him, his parents let him go for it.
I wish that everyone could have my parents, because they always let me choose whatever I wanted to. I made also some other sports, and then they never put pressure on myself. So thank you so much for my parents.
While Jannik was at ski training from 2 to 4 p.m., his parents were working long hours.
When I came back around 4:30, my mom used to be at home, but I went play tennis sometimes, a little bit of football.
At just 14 years old, Jannik made a huge decision. He left home to train full-time at the Piatti Tennis Center in Bordighera. It was hundreds of miles away from the mountains he grew up in and from his family.
I had to grow up quite fast, trying to cook for myself, trying to make laundry. For me it was tough, but for the parents to leave the son with 14 years old, it's also not easy. And
Still, Johan and Siglinda stood by him quietly cheering from the background, never asking for attention. As Jannik's fame grew, his time with family grew shorter. But in 2023, something special happened. Johan, his dad, joined his tour not as a coach, but as a chef. At the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells, Jannik shared how much that meant to him.
So my dad is here cooking for us, but it's not only about cooking. It's to stay together.
In 2024, when Jannik won the Australian Open, Italy's first Grand Slam singles title in nearly 50 years, the spotlight was all on him. But he used that moment to thank his parents.
they are the perfect parents, but they are awesome. My dad is still cooking. He's still sometimes in the restaurant, helping the restaurant a little bit. My mom is at home.
He said,
she tries to help my grandpa's place. So they are always working, and that's what I love about them. They're not changing anything with me. I'm a normal person. I was when I was a very young kid with a big dream.
It's that grounded life, those honest roots, and his parents' quiet example that keep Jannik humble, even as he stands on top of the tennis world. It wasn't always this way. In his early years, Johan and Jannik Sinner were there more often, quietly supporting their son from the crowd. But these days, they choose to stay closer to home for a deeply touching reason. They won't travel much, at least for now, Jannik shared after winning the Miami Open. I know them. I also have my grandma and grandpa, who are a certain age now, so they want to stay close. They still live in their peaceful mountain home in South Tyrol, the same place where Jannik grew up, surrounded by nature, hard work, and love. They have the family at home, he added. They live in a beautiful place, so they have a good life there. That same quiet strength showed again during the US Open in 2024, where Jannik's parents were again absent, likely staying home to care for a sick family member, Jannik's aunt. After his emotional win, he dedicated the victory to her in his post-match interview. For Jannik, fame hasn't erased the values his parents instilled in him. Whether he's celebrating a trophy or just showing up to practice, his upbringing shines through in his humility, his work ethic, and his deep respect for others. His coach Simone Vagnosi, who has known him since he was a teenager, said it best. The parents of Jannik are wonderful, really wonderful. Sometimes they come to the tournament and they don't speak one word about tennis. They're just there. They enjoy the life of the tournament. Jannik is known not just for his powerful game, but for how he treats people. Parents are exactly the same as him. His dad's got that goofy smile that Jannik has.
E un altro grande applauso per il nostro